It has been a whole school week filled with homework. The dread of homework, the audacity of homework, the kinds of homework that make children want to scream so loud that they don't want to do it. That's why I'm here to talk about homework. And what made me say, give me a break. Why I didn't want to do it on Tuesday because of the real topics I have, the dress code, the hallways, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. These are the reasons why homework is my homework sucks or it's bad. Here's the first reason. Some teachers assign way too much homework to where you don't learn anything from from what you learn. Like it'll be like an irrelevant class assignment where, okay, class, this is what your homework assignment is. I want you to go out to the Grand Canyon, stand a few inches away, and see when the sun come up. Like you just do this or whatever. But thanks to the conversation.com, there's a study found only less than 7% of fourth graders say they do homework. 3% in Algeria, they did more than 4 hours of homework. In the Netherlands, nearly 5 fourth graders reported doing no homework. So we're just not using our memories to remember. And the other reason, some teachers assign a crap ton of homework where all it is just, where all it is just copy and now. Let's just say the math problems, 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 6 plus 6, 8 plus 8, 10 plus 10, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Some teachers will assign packets to where, my friend was okay, I'm doing good, I'm doing well, this is good. They go overboard and then assign 100 of the same problems. It's actually about problem 20. It's just repetitive. You're just that is why, for demonstration purposes, on the first give and break cycle we ever had, demonstration purposes cycle, next, next, I'm retaining nothing. I just want to get it as fast as I can. And when you just assign you homework, something's on the homework are never on the test. And you know the worst part of the test is some of the homework assignments don't have anything to do with the test. Say it's some history class. Say it's some history class, you're doing current events. Say it's a project, say it's a homework project, and say it's some homework project, and then you're going out and doing something build a ship that has to do, build the USS Lexington. No, that's not going to work. Say something analyze what types of dreams your baby sister has and compare it to problems of the world today. Then analyze what types of dreams that your mom had back as a teenager and compare them to the rest of the world today. I got to spend 5 to 6 weeks in a group to get this done. So that you just be off reading a book. Let me tell you something. Critical thinking test. I've done those before. They were not that easy. The one thing I love about this is because you have this. It's weighted the test. You have a passage to read. Then you have questions at the end. And I'll have to explain sometimes I just rush through it. Sometimes just think, oh, I go back to the thing questions will be from the story, and one column will be questions from the story, and the other will be currently relevant. You have to go ask the teacher, like saying, yes, teacher will say, well, this one makes sense in this case scenario, and then that one makes sense in this case scenario. Well, okay, both answers could be right. And then the teacher might go like, you see me got that. And I'd be like, so which one would it be? And then he would say like, you would say two things. One, he'll give you the answer, the second will be like, one's a little bit more correct than the other. Really? One's a little bit more correct than the other. That's when that teaches me how to do the critical thinking assignments. Not really, though. No. Far-fetched homework. It's like the extra credit stuff. Like, oh, take a trip with your family to the Grand Canyon. Stand on the edge and roll a boulder down and see when the sun comes up. If it's on a Tuesday night at 3 o'clock. Some people, like I said before, some people just don't like actually half the class when I do actually do the assignment. They just like write it down, like memorize formulas and stuff. That was like far-fetched from this. Like, just seriously, if I don't have checkpoints, if I have the type of homework you got, sometimes teachers will be great, and sometimes they'll be like, wow, this class is the best. Like back then in my school, we don't have this thing called advise where you just go do your homework. Like sometimes the homework will be like packets, like packets. And what's the big deal with teachers saying in-class homework? That's not called in-class homework. It's basically called classwork. Meaning, it's saying like, okay, class, y'all don't have any homework today. I'm not going to, retain. I said you can do your homework in class. Say it's other homeworks. Like let's say you're in English class, and you got to write an essay. You report this, so you got to do like an essay about, World War II, like history class. You got to do an essay like World War II. It's going to be due like 2 to 3 weeks. Semester projects, like there's always. You're just reading nothing. You're copying it down. You're taking notes. That's fine, but something's on the homework or never on the test. Like you see, like people like stall raising the hand, like you think you'll be on the test, but that's not. Like what? You're not going to be on the test. The test is irrelevant from this homework. Like seriously. You know the worst part about tests? All this stuff is coming up next. Not only will students cheat on the test, back then, before students would cheat, those also been teachers. Which makes me, we're going to turn next to something way different in schools today. It's probably it's happening in different schools years ago. Teacher is a cheater. That's an open secret. School districts across the country. Like some states, it's illegal to copy the breach test to breach test security. I'll discuss that when we come back. I'm going to tell you something. You're probably pleased to read in your local paper that your kid's school is going about the National Standardized Achievement Tests in school. In other words, you can like read, write, and compute a lot older than like say his older brother could 5 years ago. Now, here is the bad news. There's evidence that those high scores are bogus from years ago because of cheating. The kids aren't cheating, but students might be. There's an open secret back then called Teacher is a Cheater That's an open secret for school districts all over the country. Some states often reward cash bonuses to teachers. There are great pressures on teachers to get those achievement test scores up. In some states, there are cash bonuses and in school prestige and increased funds. But the question we're dealing with is, why would a teacher cheat? Well, here's what happened. The annotation of the right, you see, I found a 60 Minutes and it talks about teachers a cheater. Students are not supposed to know a question on a test that they won't confused about this, but that's the fear. So some teachers went to 60 Minutes to discuss with this. The principal encouraged them to cheat, but like some teachers, they would just like look at the test and be like, this is right. Like look at the answer key, like the principal tells, okay, I want you to teach the kids the anatomy on the test and teach the material that will be on the test. The question is, how did teachers do it on the test? Because they see the test. But one South Carolina teacher who didn't want to show her face on 60 Minutes said the school administration gave her the test a week before test day. She questioned it, but the principal told her to be a team player. She never looked at the papers of the kids starting to correct them, but she said, I never changed them, but I know people who have. But what the effect of this could be, according to Dr. Jacob Canal, according to Dr. John Jacob Canal, who years ago had a watchdog group called Friends for Education. The effect this would be force students to become poor. If you're going to be, so his message is, if you're black and poor, I don't mean to be racist about this, but if you're a poor kid from another country who came to America, you're still going to be black and poor. I don't mean to be racist. If I'm racist, I'm sorry. Thanks to these articles on TheAtlantic.com, why would a teacher cheat? The answer is educators often choose to inflate students' scores on standardized tests. The motivation and effects indicate that a little deception is always a bad thing. But years ago, when I watched the 60 Minutes segment, I saw one case that led me baffled, the Nancy Yergin case, to where she was charged for a breach of test security. That there was a local TV station that covered a hearing that talked about this, and a press conference. So she took to the airwaves and said, like some students were at the courtroom supporting her, and then some students, some of the parents and the teachers were there, but the principal wasn't there. Like, the principal even let her resign, but she chose to fight the system. But she said she gave them the specific terms of the test. She didn't like throw out all the bases in World War II. Only to know that the Berlin airlift was going to be covered. She zeroed in on this. There was one student that I saw who had a stack of notes. One of Nancy Yergin students pulled out a stack of notes, just like this. Say like these were stack of notes. You would have to go through this, that, school, and then next you'll go all that. He got the notes from his teacher. And then at one point, the principal said to her, we got to get more teachers out there doing what you're doing. They're playing that same game over and over again. But when the principal came on 60 Minutes, she said, that's not true. That's an untrue statement. The goal of the test is to be on the school, to be on the newspaper. It's not pressure on a principal. Teachers get bonuses, the school gets money, and that's that. But I'm not done yet. Her boss was going to be like, if I thought your principal was doing all that, you'd be as much older as you are. You want to fight the system? Go ahead. She pleaded guilty and she was fined $500. But what told me most was about the jail sentence. The 90-day jail sentence was suspended. Her teacher's certificate was withdrawn, and she would never, ever teach again. But once she got into tears, that's telling me the most when she got into tears was that's telling me the most when she went into tears. Was mentioning the principal's name without tears. And you know why she cheated? For the poor kids, the black kids. Which I don't mean to be racist, but if I'm racist about this, I'm sorry. She taught the material. She used the specific material that was going to be on the test. Not all about all the invasions in World War II. Zero the man on the questions and answer. Never, ever do that stuff. We'll be right back. Tomorrow on Give Me a Break, school lunches. Are they safe? Are they edible? I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.